What's up again, guys? Brian here at 3TR, and I got a really big episode of the People's Questions, episode 71. First off, I'd like to thank all of you out there for sending me in your questions. I'd like to thank the guys that are usuals, and I got a couple of newbies. So without further ado, here's where your questions begin, and let's get started. The first 4 questions come from Tranquilo Command 91, and your first question is, do I have any fitness goals? Yes. In terms of fitness, I mean, weight-wise, I currently weigh about 192 pounds. I'm trying to get that down to 180, 185 pounds. And I want to at least be able to, let's see, like my biggest goal is to be able to squat, I would say somewhere between 350, because currently I'm hitting 315, so, and it is really hard. If I ever get a chance to actually take one of my cameras to the gym that I actually go to every day after work to really show you just how hard I work out, you'll see that I'm actually a lot stronger for someone who's my size, because I think I'm like 5'8", 5'9", 192 pounds at the moment right now, and you know, I've been that way since high school, so that's my fitness goal. Next question is, describe my dream house if I would want it that. Just basically dream house. I wouldn't mind, I don't need a house, I really don't, because house really means that you'll be living with multiple people, but as of right now, I wouldn't mind just my standard apartment with 2 bedrooms. And the thing about this is I can actually have like my standard bedroom that I sleep in, and then like a gamer room where I have like maybe 3 TVs, and it's just like the perfect gamer zone. And if friends come over, that'll probably be like the best room that they'll want to spend the most time in. So in terms of best like apartment house, that's what it would be, just to keep it simple. Next question is, would I like to get a motorcycle, or do I have one? No, I don't have a motorcycle. Maybe not now. Maybe later. Maybe 10 years from now. Motorcycle, because I've seen some really nasty motorcycle crashes. And even with the safest gear, it's really easy to lose control of those things. And it's just the risk factor. I'd like to at least be a little bit more comfortable on the road before I, take that risk to another level. So, yeah, I plan on getting a motorcycle. I can't tell you exactly which one, because who knows what motorcycles they'll be selling 10 years from now. And your last question is, favorite thing about my girlfriend? Well, I currently don't have a girlfriend anymore. She's been dead for 2 years. And you don't have to give me any condolences or say, oh, I'm so sorry, Brian. Don't worry about it. I hardly think about it anymore. But the best quality about her was her eyes. I mean, I knew her for like 5 years, and yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm getting off track. Sorry. Alright, the next 2 questions are actually coming from a newbie going by the name of, I hope I'm saying your name right, Draven G, which I think is a really cool name because you a G man. And you first want to know, if I had a chance to go back to any decade, which would it be? Unquestionably, it'd be the 80s. The reason I picked the 80s is because I think the 80s, in terms of how things were, it was, I think, a much more settling time for me. I mean, nowadays, if you have everything being so technological, just connected with the internet and Facebook and Twitter and all these things, it really takes away from the in-person human experience. I mean, most of us like to, talk to our friends over the internet, over the phone, but what happened to days where we used to communicate with our friends in person? We would actually get off our lazy asses, go over to them, and talk to them. I mean, yeah, they did have phones back then, but, because the internet is so popular now, we don't really have to actually present ourselves in person to communicate. And I think that talking to someone in person is a lot more effective and builds much more of a connection to see if you do have a connection for a person than it is talking out through the internet. So, yeah. Next question is, to keep it simple, what are my thoughts on the next-gen consoles not being backwards compatible? Actually, I'm not, if the PlayStation 4 is not backwards compatible, I'm perfectly fine with that. I already own 3 PlayStation 3s, and I can guarantee you that a year or 2 from now, even if I still have my PlayStation 4, I'll still be playing my PlayStation 3 games. There are so many great games that the PlayStation 3 has, and heck, if I want to play them, which I have a tradition that I will actually play a game on the anniversary day that it released. So, like, best example, something like Metal Gear Solid, I think that came out on Let me see if I can see that correctly. I think it came out somewhere. I can't even think of the day, but I usually will look it up, and whatever day it came out, I'll play it for like a good hour and a half, maybe 3 hours, depending if it's a great game. So no, I'm not bothered at all if it's not backwards compatible, because I'm not going to make the same mistake I did with my PlayStation 2 and trade all my games and console to get one game, which I greatly regret. The next, let's see, 2 questions come from Criticism Guy 2009, and you first want to know, what are my thoughts on the latest Sonic series game franchise, Sonic the Last World, coming out this November? You know, dude, I've actually kind of been out of touch with Sonic lately. He just has not been the same since the old 16-bit era. I mean, I think the last good Sonic game I played was on the Dreamcast, but I'm sorry, I'm just not interested in Sonic anymore. I'm much more interested in Mario with his recent games he had on the Wii, because those are really fun, and I think this Sonic's kind of fallen from grace. But maybe one day, if, you know, Sega like starts to put like an old school style Sonic game on like the next gen consoles, that would be great to see. And next question is, what PC game is my favorite of all time? You know, I'm not really a PC gamer per se, so I'm not sure if I can really tell you if there's a PC game I actually enjoy. But if I had to pick one, it'd be Warcraft Orcs vs. Humans. I think that's the only PC game I can think of that I spent hours playing. I mean, there was like the old school Doom and Thief, but those games kind of were just like demos, so I didn't actually get the chance to play the real game. So Warcraft, the original Warcraft Orcs vs. Humans, would, I suppose, be my favorite PC game. The next 2 questions come from Japino10, or Pino as you want it to be called. And you first want to know, who is my idol? That is a real difficult question, because what do you mean by idol? Do you mean like idol like on YouTube, or idol in my real life? I'm guessing you want real life. I guess my mom, she's just always been there for me, and she's not perfect. I mean, she, you know, makes mistakes, because, you know, we're human. We all make mistakes. But she, like me, likes to admit their mistakes. And, you know, I don't always like to say that I'm always right. In fact, I actually like it when I'm proven wrong, because that means that I still have a lot to learn. And I don't think you're ever too old to learn new things, or maybe learn things a different way than the way you learned it. Maybe you'll have a better experience. So my mom would be the closest thing to an idol that I have. And next question is, who is my favorite gaming character? I actually did a list about this like in like the first year of 3TR. I would say my favorite video game character is the boss, simply because it was really her ideologies and thought patterns and morals that really are the driving force of the Metal Gear Solid franchise. I mean, every character afterwards, although they may not be directly connected to the boss, but really what they're doing was only possible because of what the boss really wanted the world to be as a whole, instead of it being divided between nations and warring over stupid nuclear problems. So, the boss. The next, let's see, questions come from Marlene. I got Marlene. And your 2 questions are, have I watched the new Arrested Development episodes? You know something? You guys have been asking me to watch that show for weeks now. So you know what? I promise you this. While I'm at E3, when I get back from each day of the convention, whatever time I have between like the next day or so, like in the evening, I promise you I will watch Arrested Development, and I will give you my personal thought on the show when I get back. So, yeah. Next question is, am I going to watch This Is the End? Yes, I'm absolutely going to see that movie. I'm actually going to see it with a friend of mine while we're down there in California for E3. And I'm actually talking to my friend to see if he actually would like to do a partnering review, which is going to be a first for 3TR. And I'm actually going to do the same thing for Man of Steel. So hopefully for This Is the End and Man of Steel, I'll actually be doing a review with a friend of mine in the video as well. So that will be fun. I'm looking forward to that. Let's see. Next question comes from WSL107, and you want my opinion on the something riff, the whole virtual reality thing. I personally have no idea what that is about. I've never heard of it. and I've been so busy, I really did not have time to even look that up. But if you can actually give me some insights to what that is exactly, then I'll be more than happy to respond to your comment, because I really have been just so busy with 3TR and doing videos and editing and trying to organize exactly how things are going to go over the next week and job, and I'm really sorry. Just comment down below and let me know, and then I can actually respond back to you. And the last two questions come from Juggernaut100, and you first want to know, do I watch the Venture Brothers on Adult Swim? No, I do not. The only shows on Adult Swim that I watch would be Boondocks and Robot Chicken. I think that's about it. They used to play some really good shows, but they took a lot of the good ones off a few years ago, so no, I don't watch that show. And last, you want to know, can I do a tour for E3? Yes, I will be I'll be actually taking both my cameras to E3 with me. I'm not sure what the filming policies are, but from other media guys that I've seen go to E3, it looks like there's really no limitations to what you can film. It's just, my problem is because I have yet to find anyone to go with me to E3, so I'm not even sure if I'll be able to do interviews, and that was really something I was looking forward to doing at E3. But in terms of actually going around and showing you what the floor looks like, because my email has really been just booming from just a bunch of people who have booths at E3 who want me to schedule booking a tour or visiting their particular place at certain times of each specific day, that I'll have plenty of footage for you guys to see each day. So yes, I'll be doing a tour. And with that, that is all the questions you guys have sent for me this week. Again, I'd like to thank all of you out there. And for a closing idea for this particular video, I'd like to know, what game has not been announced but would you like to see be announced at E3 when the press conferences hit on the 10th? So let me in the comments down below and let me know. And if you like this video, please like, comment down below, and please subscribe to check for me and my future videos. And like always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.